So I'm going to show you 20 albums that helped me get into death metal. We are listening to Satyrs from Satyricon's ambient project that I can't remember the name of. It's River or something. I don't know. The tape is like $3 billion. So, you know. So, first one I got for you is Maniacs by Ghoul. Maniacs is, I think, the third Ghoul album. Ghoul is a thrash, death, grind band. Very fun, very energetic. It has that thrash metal feel to it for being death grind. It's very nice. Cool art, as you can see. Everything about this, it made me appreciate grind. I always thought grind to be more of just noise, and that obviously didn't appeal to me. And this really helped me grasp onto it because I had the lyrics in front of me, I had the vinyl in my hands, I had the attitude, you know, I liked it. Ghoul definitely hit the spot for me. Next is Sepultura's album Arise. This bridged the this put a bridge from death to thrash, or thrash to death, and it fits well. I mean, it's death thrash. They're basically one of the first death metal bands, or at least that sound proto for death metal, you know, the building blocks of death metal. Sepultura is definitely one of those bands, and tracks like Arise and Dead Embryonic Cell and Desperate Cry are just heavy. Is it Desperate Cry or Dead Embryonic Cell? It's just a bam, 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 bam. I don't know, but that's an awesome riff in the Arise with the awesome. This caught me really well. I'm a big fan of Sepultura. Great album. Next is one that I don't own. It is the self-titled Bodom album from, I think, 2004. I was obsessed with watching Bodom play Blood on Your Lips live at Wacken in, I think, 2008 for the longest time, and something about that really caught my eyes and my attention to the video over and over and over again. Angel Ripper does like guttural vocals in some of it, and then he does that kind of vocal that he always does, and I thought that was the coolest thing, and that literally changed my entire perspective on vocals. So Sodom's self-titled album, Bodom, is very important for me. Next is another one that I don't own yet, but is The Sound of Perseverance by Death. These are albums that I all know really well, so it's hard for me to shell out $12 for it, you know. Sound of Perseverance, we were supposed to play Bite the Pain back when we were still like a crossover band. Actually, my guitar player who doesn't even like regular death metal, ex-guitar player who doesn't even like regular death metal, wanted to play Bite the Pain, and we didn't for some reason. I don't remember why. Obviously, it's hard as hell to play, especially if you're playing like crossover thrash, very Havoc influenced, I guess. It was a pain, but hearing that progressive sound, hearing those high vocals, and everything was really cool about it. And then obviously I would find more death looking through the death catalog, and that was super important for me. So Death, Sound of Perseverance is number 17. Number 16, Triguna's album Embryonic Forms. At this point, I was already into death metal, but this floored me on it. This is my friend's band that I was playing bass for a couple of shows. I think it was 2 or 3 shows that I played bass for Triguna. Now they're this crazy-ass progressive death metal band, but this is like death thrash, old-school death thrash, and this really floored it. I mean, it showed me the passion and the love of death metal that the musicians have, and I think that's what's super important for me. So Triguna's album Embryonic Forms is something that I could pay extreme amounts of homage to because it is a great thing. Next is Beyond Creation's album The Aura. I saw the music video for the song Omnipresent Perception, and that floored me to get a 6-string bass, which is a big basis of wanting to play this stuff. I mean, that song is so cool. There's so much weird stuff going on with the bass licks. Forrest LaPointe right there is a great bass player. it's just a great album, honestly. It's something that really made me grasp onto that progressive sound and more technical music. And yeah, Beyond Creation's a great act. Where did I put Beyond Creation? It goes up here somewhere. But yeah, I love Beyond Creation. There it is. Next is Deliverance by Opeth. This literally changed my perspective on death metal. This broke all the boundaries of what I thought death metal was, and it changed my perspective. Like, I do clean singing and harsh vocals in my band, and it's because of this album. Quite literally, the song Master's Apprentice changed my entire mindset. Master's Apprentice, Deliverance, By the Pain I See in Others, Wreath, all of this, A Fair Judgment, For Absent, for the whole album. I just literally listed all the tracks. That's how good this album is. This is one of my favorite albums of all time, and it's just a great album. Seriously, check it out. It changed my entire mentality on death metal. I need to buy Blackwater Park. Next is a album I used to own, but I traded it to my friend because I really wanted him to get into the Nile, and it's In Their Darkened Shrines. It was one of the first death metal albums I ever purchased, and the other two albums, I bought 3 in one run, and this is one of them, and the other 2 are also in this album, or in this list. So In Their Darkened Shrines really just caught my attention by Nile. They're just a great band, and everything about Nile just made me want to get more into it. I really like the kind of thing that is done in the vocals. Next, number 12 is, I know, the hate is starting to flow. Time One by Wintersun. Super important for me. This really introduced my idea into atmospheric music, and that really helps me, you know, digest bands like Amorphous and things like that are really atmospheric but still death metal. And Wintersun, really, I like the epic soundscapes that this album creates. Wintersun, Yari is kind of a twat, but this really changed my mind on, again, death metal. Like, I've had a couple albums that done this for me, and this is one of them. This floored me in atmosphere. And Wintersun is a great band. No matter what you say, even if you don't like their music, you gotta admit they're great musicians. Next is an album I don't have, but it's Amon Amarth with the album Deceiver of the Gods. Deceiver of the Gods, I saw them on the tour. I have the tour shirt with the album cover on it. I love the album. It's catchy. It's catchy as hell death metal, and that's something that really helps me out. My friend actually got me into Amon Amarth by showing them to me. And yeah, they're just a killer act. Not too much to be said about Amon Amarth. Everybody knows about it. Next, Skeleton Witch's album Beyond the Permafrost. This band, again, changed my mind on vocals. Where Angel Ripper left off, Chance Garnett took over, and this is it. I literally modeled my harsh vocals off of Chance Garnett, Abbott, Michael Ackerfeld, and Nurgle from Behemoth. Those are the 4 people that I try to sound like. Great album. I can't get over this. The song Fire from the Sky hooked me. Straight in, pulled me in, right by the lip. First cast, great album. It changed my mind. I love blackened music, so seeing blackened melodic death metal really caught me. And Skeleton Witch does that better than anybody else. I don't care what you say, it is the truth. Next is Witchtanic Hallucinations by Acid Witch. I heard this back when I was a doom metal kid, and it scared the living shit out of me. Never heard anything like this besides like Comcast On Demand videos and stuff. This scared me. It's so scary sounding in comparison to, you know, I mean, Pentagram's really scary, but like Witchcraft and stuff. It's such a good album, and it's just so atmospheric, but in a very negative way. It's very eerie, very Halloween sounding, and this is something that helped me grasp onto the aspect of death metal because it's not so intense. It's more of eerie, and I think that's really cool. Acid Witch is Witchtanic Hallucinations. Next, another one that was in that that little area of the 3 albums that I bought at once. This is Cause of Death by Obituary. This album is super important for me. Body Bag is my favorite Obituary song. It's the 2nd track on here. Chopped in Half's on here. Dying, Circle of the Tyrants by Celtic Frost, Infected, Find the Arise, Turned Inside Out. Everything about this album is great, and it's groove. It's groovy death metal, and that's something that's super important for me. Is groove is usually something to latch onto, and Obituary is good at that. And what's up, guys? I'm back again. Sorry about that. I was talking about Obituary. I've never actually edited something, so now I had to go download a video editor to do that, so you guys might start seeing better quality videos. But yeah, Obituary Cause of Death is super important for me. Next is one that my friend helped me get into. This one is Swaggy's Balls album. This is Children of Bodom with the album Are You Dead Yet? Children of Bodom is a goofy band. They're swaggy. They're like Ailstorm to me. They're a great band. They're hard to take serious because they're just got a funky sound and just everything. Their aesthetic is weird, everything. Keyboard heavy, high vocals, very melodic, easy to get into if you're trying to get into death metal. Children of Bodom is definitely one of those bands for me. I heard this back when, I was all about death or thrash metal and doom and stuff, and this hit me. It hit me hard, and I liked it a lot. So the Children of Bodom is pretty important for that, I gotta say. God, there we go. Next one is the last of the 3 and probably the most important between Nile, Obituary, and 6 Feet Under with the album Death Rituals. I love Chris Barnes, all vocal. I don't care that he sounds like a horse. It's great. It's like kind of a horse mixed with a dog part. Like, brr. I like it. It's not the best, but I still enjoy it. The song, Involuntary Movement of Dead Flesh, made me laugh so hard, it's unbelievable. The song Death by Machete got stuck in my head, and this really changed how I thought about death metal. Because I thought it was just all blazing fast, ridiculous nonsense, 6 Feet Under, great band. Where do you go? By the S's. I don't know, it's somewhere around here. Oh, 6 feet. Here. Alright, next, it's Tomb of the Mutilated by Cannibal Corpse. Hammer Smashed Face got stuck in my head, obviously. It happens to everybody. Next, Evisceration Plague by Cannibal Corpse. That's one of the only bands that double up on albums. Hint, hint. Evisceration Plague, I saw the music video and it scared me when I was like 9, and it's great. 3. Top 3 here. Stages of Decomposition, Piles of Rotting Flesh. First Count Blagarth video I ever watched was that one, so I've been watching for a long ass time, and it changed my concept of music, period. I heard what he was saying and how he described it, and I was like, huh, never thought of it that way, and it literally changed me. I got hooked on the album, love it to death, still do, need to pick up a copy of it, but it's a great release. Number 2, The Satanist by Behemoth. What needs to be said? The song Blow Your Trumpets, Gabriel made me want to learn how to do guttural screams. Literally the only reason I heard that song. I kept singing it. Now the sword, the virgin. It's just great. It's a great album. It hooked me. And last, number 1, Behemoth's album Demigod. I heard the song Slave Shall Serve when I was 8 years old. It scared the piss out of me. Ridiculous. And it's scary. It's a great album. I love it to death. And Demigod is the most important album for me getting into death metal. Please do a video response. I would love to see it. Keep it greasy, guys.